Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney, and I am a part-time artist with a full-time job, and it's a lot of chaos. Somebody wants to say hi. Do you have things to say? Oh, do you hear a toy? You say hello? Okay, bye. At any rate, hello. Welcome to this week's video. So if you can hear the jingling in the background, there's an automatic cat toy thing that has decided to turn itself on. And it's keeping the cats from murdering each other right now. So we're just gonna let that happen. My apologies. Speaking of, yes, I said cats. If you've been here before, you know that a couple of months ago, our sweet 18-year-old boy, Larson, did pass away. 18-year-old cat. He's a cat. Let me just make that real clear. It is an orange cat. He passed away. He had kidney disease, heart disease. He had a lot of things, but so we were down to one cat for a little while, and Sai was pretty miserable not having a buddy. He'd never lived alone, and so we ended up going with the same rescue that we had gotten him from, and we welcomed a new little friend last week. And they're working out their differences right now. We've been following all the Jackson Galaxy things, and it's going really, really well for the most part, but they're 1 and 2 years old. They're gonna play, they're gonna roughhouse, and we have lots of interactive toys to keep them busy. So I'm sorry if you can hear that, but at any rate, hello, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Courtney, and on my channel, I share all of my books, strings, and things. And this week, we're doing a little bit of a catch-up. I was missing last week, if you didn't notice. I actually have a couple upcoming videos that I was filming and have not had time to edit yet, and then I got super sick. So the video I had planned for last week did not happen. I don't know what I had. I assume it was the flu. We tested for all of the things. They were all negative. So it was some type of virus, and it was rough. No one wanted to see me on camera. So we're back. We're back this week. And today I'm going to do a end of Q1 update because we are already through the first quarter of the year. So this video might be going out a little bit late because, again, I was sick basically until a day or two ago. We're still a little bit recovering, but we're getting there. We feel good enough to do the hair makeup thing, put on normal human clothes and not just sweatpants all day, and do the filming things. So this will come out right around the end of March. It is the last week in March right now as I'm filming this. And I thought it would be a good time to check in, see where we're at. I'm gonna have to go turn that toy off. It's driving me insane. All right, we're back. The toy has been silenced. Hopefully they don't find another toy to set off. We'll see how that goes. But today we're going to go over a little recap of how the first quarter of this year has gone. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say the answer to that is rough. It was a rough, rocky start to the year. We're slowly getting back on track though. So first thing I'm gonna do is go over the goals that I set for this year. So in this video, I outlined, I'm gonna say 5. Let's look and see how many. Hold on, I have notes. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goals. We have 6 goals for the year. So let's see how we're doing on those. I already kind of know because I wrote an outline for this and it's not great, but that's okay. We're gonna make progress from here. It's gonna be fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of try to categorize these into the art goals, the book goals, and then the other thing goals. Does that make sense? Sure. Yes? Okay, good. All right. So the art goals, that's where more of them are. So we're going to start with that. So one of the goals in that realm that I had for 2024 was to sketch at a museum. And you all don't know this yet because that video will be out either next week or the week after. I'm not sure how many days I'm going to fit into a video, if that makes sense. But I have already sketched at a museum this year. It was scary. It was intimidating. I am still not, I did it. We can check that box. I did it. I would like a redo, but I did it. So we've met one goal. For a quarter of the way through the year, we're good. We've at least made some progress, but I'll put a few little clips in here. For the most part, I could not film in the museum. I did take some stills, and the folks that I were with, my friend and my spousal unit, they took a couple still shots. And I will talk more about that experience in the upcoming video. So, spoiler, I actually just got back from a trip to Japan. So we were in Japan for about a week, and I have so many things to show you all. I tried to film as much of the trip as I could. Again, there were some places that I couldn't film in, and then we were doing some activities that it just didn't make sense to be filming because I needed two hands. So one of those was a pottery class. So I will tell you all about the Japan trip, show you all of the footage, including the massive art haul. So those videos will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So back to the goals. Yes, we have sketched in a museum. There's a fire truck. We'll wait. You good? Nope, we're not good. Are you good? Okay. I think we're okay now. So, we've accomplished one goal. I want to work on it a little bit more and have more time. Basically, I didn't have enough time, and it was also it was a little awkward, but we'll talk about that in the other video. So, another goal that I have made progress on is to work on some figure drawing. Right now, I have just been working on faces mostly. I've done a couple figures. I did some figure drawing at the airport earlier this year in kind of an urban sketching style, and I'm meh about how those look. They're not terrible, but they're not where I want to be with my figure drawing. But right now I've been working on faces. I've got a couple books to help me with portraiture, and I actually picked up some books in Japan as well, one specifically on hands, and I will show you all of the books in the Japan art store haul. But I've made some progress. We've gotten a start. So if we just want to check off practice figure drawing, yeah, I've done that. But I want to practice more. I want to get better this year, so we're going to keep going with that goal. Same thing with the museum goal. We're going to keep going, but we've at least made some progress on our goals, which we're going to celebrate that. We're not going to be too negative about the things that we haven't done. Okay? There's more fire trucks. We're just going to keep going. All right. Then the third major goal in the art section of our 2024 goals is to do The Artist's Way. So we all know The Artist's Way book by Julia Cameron. I have never read it. I have never tried to do the apparently 12-week program, but we're going to be starting this very, very soon. I have a couple friends that are going to do it with me as well, but I am going to document the entire thing, all 12 weeks. I'd been putting it off because I kept saying, well, I don't have time, I've got travel, I'll be going places, I won't have time to do it, I can't do it because I have travel. You know what, there aren't 12 straight weeks in a year where I'm not traveling. That's never gonna be a thing that happens. I will always have a plane to get on at some point during a 12-week span. So we just need to start, okay? We gotta start, we gotta pick a point, we gotta start. So that start is going to be actually Monday, April 1st. So you won't see those videos for a little while, but we are starting The Artist's Way. That's going to be a large portion of our content. I'm going to try to sprinkle other videos in, but we will have a new series, which is all 12 weeks of The Artist's Way. So we're slowly checking off multiple goals as we go. So we've got a start, or at least a plan, for 3 out of the 6 goals. So, yeah. The other 3 goals. So in the world of knitting, our goal is is this your goal too? I don't know. It is now. Apparently, congratulations. You get to knit 2 sweaters too. My goal for 2024 is to knit 2 sweaters. Have I made one single stitch on the sweater that I already had started from last year? No, we have not. We've not made any progress. It is in this bag. It has been in this bag since 2023. So we are somewhere in the neighborhood of the shoulder-ish area on either the front or the back. I don't know which is which, but there's one side, and then there's the extra work that we've done past the, sweater. So, like, I feel like this is over halfway. Sure. I have no idea. Sleeves. We're over halfway, surely. I'm probably going to do a 3/4. I think I'm going to do a 3/4 sleeve. I don't know what it actually says in the pattern, but I feel like I want a 3/4 sleeve on this, but watch me change my mind at some point when I actually get back to this. So I need to pick this back up, because if we're going to do 2 sweaters, I got to finish one first. So, like, we're halfway there. So it's really only 1.5 sweaters that I have to do this year. Right. So yeah, we're going to try to make some progress on that. And do the artist's way at the same time. Yeah, okay. Wow, all right. I don't know where we're going to find the energy, but we're just, like, going forward at this point. We're going to do it. We're going to do the things. It's going to happen. The other thing that hasn't been happening is quilting. One of the other goals for this year was to make 2 quilts. Have I made any quilts? No, we have made none quilts. 0 is the amount of sewing I've done probably since, like, 2022. Like, I don't know that I really did much of anything in 2023 sewing wise. I'd really have to go back and, like, look through the footage, but there wasn't much, if there was anything at all. There is a checklist of a challenge from 2022 that's still on my whiteboard over there that I haven't finished. We're going to get back into it. I'm starting to feel some interest in that again. So we're going to get there. Okay, but we're going to make 2 quilts. We can do this. We can do the things, making progress. Then my last category was bookish things. So my book goal that I wrote down in the goals list was to read more nonfiction. And in 2023, I read 9 nonfiction books. So more than 9 is our goal. So we break that up into quarters. If we're reading 10 books, 10 doesn't really divide by 4, so let's call it 12. I need to read about 3 books a quarter, which we have not done. But we have read 1. I've read one nonfiction. So I just finished this week or last week, recently, while I was sick. So this is Trailed, One Woman's Quest to Solve the Shenandoah Murders by Catherine Miles. So it is a nonfiction book in almost like a podcasty format. Like, the telling of it reminded me a lot of a podcast because the author was inserting a lot of herself into the story and how the story was impacting her. But the book is about 2 queer women who were murdered while they were hiking in the 1990s in the Shenandoah National Forest, which is close to where I grew up in Virginia. So they are still unsolved. At one point, someone was arrested and convicted, but it turns out that person probably didn't do it or officially didn't do it. I don't know if they were ever actually officially not, but at any rate, they're still unsolved. For all intents and purposes, we don't know who killed these 2 women. And it talks a lot about the violence against women and queer people and anyone who is other than your heterotypical white male in our national parks, on trails, and anywhere in the outdoors, which is still very much a white male dominated space. And I did not know about some of the issues, and I've done a lot of hiking. I was in a backpacking club at one point, but I feel uncomfortable going out hiking by myself. I've never felt super safe doing that, and this is one of the reasons why. As a queer woman, I don't feel safe in a lot of those spaces. I want to have someone else with me, and even though the 2 women in this book, Julie and Lolly, they were together, they still had their lives ended by someone, and we don't know the whole story. We don't know why. There are some speculations as to what motivated the crime, but until we have the actual person who did it, a confession, more information, there's still a lot that we don't know, and it's unnerving to say the least. But I really like this book. There are more sirens. Imagine that. We're gonna press on. I really enjoyed the author's perspective on this, and they talked about how this type of crime impacts them, impacts women, and why they feel it's important for journalists and authors to continue to write these kinds of stories, to press law enforcement to do more, to solve these crimes, to hold people accountable, to listen when witnesses come forward, which did not happen in Julie and Lolly's case. A lot of the witnesses were dismissed, and that creates a lot of issues further down the line. So if you're looking for a good true crime nonfiction book, true crime and nonfiction would be that it's the same thing. Anyway, if you're looking for a good true crime novel, and especially if you are an avid hiker, I definitely pick this one up. Then I have started, but have not really made any progress on The Slip. So this is a book about the art scene in New York City, one specific area or street, and I've really made like zero progress on this. I got distracted by nonfiction and also trailed. So I'm hoping to pick this back up. I'm just really not in a nonfiction mood right now. I need to work on that, but we're going to read this at some point this year. It's just not going to be right now. I've put it down for the time being. I've been on a huge thriller nonfiction journey right now. We're getting back into those, and several of them have come in from the library, so that's where most of my reading time has been. But we will get back here, and then we will find at least 8 more nonfiction books. I have a whole list of them that I really want to read at some point this year. So we've made small progress. Then, can we count this as nonfiction, technically? Listen, if this is listed as nonfiction on Goodreads, I'm counting it, so we might be at 3 in 12 weeks, you know, whenever we get there with that. That's not right now. So that's the progress on all of the major goals. Then I have some other like smaller goals that I didn't really talk about much. Just to give us a full picture, my Goodreads goal is set at 50. That's usually pretty achievable. And I think I'm 1 book ahead of schedule right now. Again, I've been reading a lot of nonfiction. I've been reading some fantasy. I told you about the Wimbrel House series that I'm like obsessed with. Then I also got into the Zodiac Academy series. I am not proud to say that I'm really enjoying it. It's super problematic. Like, I can't in good conscience recommend these books, but I am reading them, but they're problematic. There's a lot of like non-consensual things that happen, and a lot of abusive things, and very, very problematic. But they are so well written, and the story is so good, and I have been sucked in, and I am ashamed. So we're probably not going to talk anymore about those, because that's my shame reading now. That's where we're at with that, because I do not condone or really am comfortable at all with some of the topics in the book and some of the things that are happening to the female main characters. I don't agree with those plot devices being used. Yeah, so problem. We are a problem. But at any rate, I've also been reading, like I said, thrillers. I just finished Someone Here is Lying by... We'll have to pop it up here because I don't remember. Because I turned it back into the library already. But that was really good. I did not see some of the plot twists coming. Absolutely loved that. And then I just brought home a massive haul from the library. So a lot of my weekend is going to be spent reading. Pretty excited about that. Then other art goals that we're working our way towards. I am trying to finish my series of 12 bookshops in Vermont. We're not very far on that, but we're going to make progress. We're getting there. So I'm hoping to get those done this year. I've got to carve out some time. I've got some travel coming up. So I can't do it then, but we're going to start chipping away at that goal. We've done a little. We've got to do more. We'll get there. That's really my only other really big art goal. The others are all in that like main list. And I don't really have any other quilting or knitting goals other than the 2 quilts and 2 sweaters. So it's just how much progress can I make? Yay me. I do have a pair of socks right now that I'm knitting and working on. Those are like my travel project. They went to Japan with me. Didn't make a lot of progress on those because I napped on the plane a lot, which was good. Like that's what I needed to do. And then we were so busy when we were in Japan. We were going nonstop. I did not have much time for knitting at all, which is fine. Like that's time well spent. So those will get done at some point. There's no rush on those. So other than the ones that are in the major goals for the year section, I don't know why I'm pointing. There's nothing over here. What are we doing? There aren't really other knitting or quilting goals. It's just like, let's make progress. The goal is to just make progress. So that's where we're at for our big 6 goals. So we've made some progress on 2, let's say 3. And we're going to start making progress next week on a 4th. And then the knitting and the quilting goals, we got to pick back up. We're going to get there. So we're starting to find the motivation again. We're going to keep that motivation and keep going. Part of that is because there was a shortage of some of my mental health medication, and that made everything a struggle, but we got our prescription filled this week. So I am super excited and like to get my life back in order. Life, we'll put it in this little box. We'll put it back together because medication is important. If you haven't taken your medication today, don't forget to take your medication. Don't forget to drink water. Do all the things that help you be the human that you want to be. So hope that you're able to find your medications if you've been experiencing a shortage. That was a miserable couple of months. So we're back. We're moving. We're going forward. Next week, you will have the first in the, let's call it 3 to 4 Japan videos. I know at least there will be 3 of them, and maybe a 4th. We'll see how much footage I really ended up with. So next week and the following weeks, you'll see a couple of videos from Japan. I hope you enjoy those, especially the art haul. I've actually not let myself use any of the art supplies I bought from Japan yet because I'm saving that for the art haul. You're welcome. So we got to get to that and like get that filming done so I can play with the toys. So hope you're having a great week wherever you are. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.